All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bashim Kadash. And we give double honors to our apostle elders, which is apostle elders at Great Millstone, which have diligently done the work and which have instilled the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai in our spirit, man. All right, because these times that we in, we're going to need that name more than ever. And these people out here that don't have the name, they don't have, like it says in the scriptures, they don't have a strong tower to run into. They don't have nowhere to be safe because the whole world's going to be tried in these times, man. We're going to jump right into it. This is a quick update. We had a situation happen in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm in Missouri now, but we have a camp in St. Louis. Brothers up there. But we just had a situation happen in St. Louis where a Edomite couple was pointing weapons at the so-called protesters. So I'm gonna get ready to play it. I'm just waiting for it to load up. The computer's been acting weird all morning, but we're gonna tough it through. So let me pull this article up. Hold on one second. See, now it wants to give me problems, man. All right, there it goes. It says St. Louis couple point guns at peaceful crowd of protesters calling for mayors to resign. So Esau is getting more because I said this through the spirit this past weekend that all of this Black Lives Matter, what have I noticed is that it's causing a lot of derision, which the spirit of Yahweh Shai is pushing that. But it's causing a lot of derision between mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, mothers-in-law, father-in-law. All these things are being separated from this issue of racial tension, okay? So what's happening, you got Esau the elites are pushing the other Edomites, the six-pack average Edomites, back against the wall. All right, the ones that are not in the know, I'm not going to say average Edomites, the ones that aren't in the know of the so-called elitists and in their club. If they haven't approached you and you're not in the know, then you're just going to be left out here, okay? Because everybody's not in the Illuminati. As much as that may seem like a far-fetched thing, everybody don't know what's going on. All right, that's the point of the Illuminati, is to stay hidden. If everybody knows what's going on, then what's the point of being hidden? All right, so let me go ahead and try to get this put down. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, the video starting now. There we go. Esau, at the end of the day, because what did Esau, even the average rich Edomite that goes and so-called makes it and has a nice establishment, he still goes to that sword because he's Esau, man. He knows his blessing. He knows what time it is when it comes down to it. When it comes to Jacob, he got to bring out that blessing. Just like when he dealt with the Gadites, when he came over here as the cavalry, he has to deal with that gun, man, that sword, that blessing to blessing. All right. See, but the thing about it is, why all this is going to tie in, because you had Trump retweet that video. All right, he retweeted that video and he sent it out to his so-called masses, because this man, he's there to cause division, and he's there to cause a racial tension in Babylon. That's why his base is majority of what? Racist Edomites, man, that have a complex about Jake coming on the level, man. They feel that Jake is taking something from them, and how does it feel? Let's not let emotion get into it. Let's read this article. It says, Trump retweets video of white St. Louis couple pointing guns at protesters. So Trump won't say nothing about George Floyd. He won't come out and say it or at least address it, but he will retweet whites holding guns against so-called Jakes. So what is he trying to push the narrative here? He's picking dates where Negroes have been killed and murdered and atrocities done against. That's his campaign rally days. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then it's a duck, man. But he's a placed duck. It's not a coincidental duck, because Trump is doing what the elites want him to do, man. All right, that's why he retweeted out this. So let's read this article, and that's not it. Check this out. Donald Trump controversy on Monday, and perhaps sought to deflect attention from the report about Russia placing boundaries on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan, which that's taking place right now. So we just gonna segue into that real quick and then jump right back into the article. So things are brewing while everybody's worrying about this coronavirus and COVID-19. The world is still making moves on the World War III algorithm. All right. It says, by retweeting new footage of a white couple in St. Louis, Missouri, who pointed guns at protesters marching for police reform. So now he retweeted that to show to his supporters, hey, bear up arms, because he also said at the Tulsa rally that the Second Amendment is there to defend yourselves from protesters. So now he's trying to put a narrative out there of protesters or so-called whites going against Black Lives Matter. It's a stage of war, man. It's ordo ad chaos, because once you have the chaos, then they can bring in the order. They say, oh, the left and the right is too much. Pretty much kids are fighting, and Esau's going to be the one to come in and separate the two and bring in that order. But that's what he set up, because he's the one that runs Black Lives Matter, and he's the one that's juicing these Edomites up to get into their feelings, man. All right, so it's all set up in the spirit. That's how you got to look at things. And it says the president's actions came a day after he retweeted footage of protesters clashing in Florida, in which a Trump supporter could be heard saying, "White power, white power." See, that retweet was deleted from the president's account after a few hours, a White House spokesman saying Trump had not heard the inflammatory words before sending the footage on his supporters. So let Obama retweet a tweet saying black power, and see what if Esau wouldn't have burnt the White House down, man. So this is the time that we living in. It's they know what they're doing. Oh, my fault. We no, everything is, no matter how much Trump will pretend like he's out there tweeting and doing things on his own, he's gotta go through a checklist. And that checklist is the elites. The elites don't let this man do nothing by himself. Every tweet, every word, every movement, every glass of water drank is all set up by the elites, man. All right? Everything is a movie. Just like they set up a movie, just like watch the movie Wag the Dog, man. It says the protesters in St. Louis was marching to the mayor's home to demand her resignation. In a Facebook Live briefing on Friday, Linda Crossan read the name of the address of several residents who wrote letters suggesting she defund the police department. The video was removed from Facebook, and Carson apologized on Friday, stating she did not intend to cause distress. So there's a lot of racial tension going on, man. All right, there's a lot of racial tension going on because the Lord he's putting the Egyptian against the Egyptian, as it says in the scriptures. But now let's jump into this Black Lives Matter. All right, because this has been new information has come out. Not new information, but some things that I found out about Black Lives Matter, or quote, because this organization was set up by the 1%. All right, the rich people that run everything else, they're the ones that's funding so-called Black Lives Matter in the magnitude that it's at now. being able to paint streets and organize marches and have all these logistical means. These are above Jake's means right here. Because if Jake can be disorganized on protests, how can they not be organized to help fund so-called businesses in their neighborhoods, or help fund certain projects they can do? No, they can't, because they're cursed people. So if people that are cursed start to somewhat have things going for them, that means there's others' hands in it that aren't cursed, which are these Edomites, these 1%. So now these are the originators of Black Lives Matter, and I'm gonna show you why this is important. So let's go ahead and play some of this clip. So it started by 3 Jake women, right? Lesbian Jake women, if I've heard correctly. But it's funny how black women today do not respect black men, have any kind of admiration towards black men, but they start an organization saying Black Lives Matter. So these black women, they look like they're feminists, that independent vibe. They don't look like they're for black men. All right. How is it the same breath black women hate and disdain their man, but then turn around and have a movement that's helping to preserve the life of their black man that they don't care about? Something's not adding up, man. 2 + 2 is still 4. So something's going on, man. They were set up. They're not the originators of this. They might have had an idea, but Esau is the one that's backing these guys. So let's play this brief interview.
Our call to action. It is a tool to reimagine a world where black people are free to exist, free to live.
First of all, we're not black people. We're different shades of brown. So you're pushing the narrative. We're not black people. And we're not here to live. We're here in America to serve bondage. We're here in America to serve slavery. We're here in America to pay for the sins that we committed in our lives. All right? That's what we're here. We're not here to live, okay?
To show up differently for us. I grew up in a neighborhood that was heavily policed. I witnessed my brothers and my siblings continuously stopped and frisked by law enforcement. I remember my home being raided. And one of the questions as a child I had was why? Why us? Black Lives Matter offers answers.
All right, so we hear all that. Everything sounds good. Once you hear it, it all sounds, oh man, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that's it. Our lives do matter. No, wait. Never trust thine enemy, man. The soles of your feet will never find rest. It says there remaineth a rest for Israel. You ain't gonna find rest here in the land of your captivity, man. This is supposed to be, you don't see in prison talking about, hey man, I miss the Roman noodles. No, man, no. It's not here to set up anything good, okay? So let's pull this out. This is from October 2016. All right. It says, billionaires backed Black Lives Matter. Whoa, red flag. Why are the same billionaires, how'd they get their billions of dollars? They profited off of the lives of black people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's how they became billionaires. You don't become a billionaire in this world and don't get your hands dirty with something to deal with Jake's blood, man. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, maybe they sold pillows. No, they didn't sell pillows, man. They profited off the bloodshed and the pain of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says the Ford Foundation, one of the most powerful private foundations in the world with close ties to Wall Street and U.S. government, recently announced that it is overseeing a funneling of $100 million over 6 years to several organizations that play leading role in Black Lives Matter movement. $100 million? Let's keep going. With eager to depend and expand this community of social justice foundations, the foundation announced reads, we want to nurture bold experiments and help the movement to build a solid infrastructure that will enable it to flourish. The seeds of wickedness. That's why it says even the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Let me say that again. The script. Let me pull it out. I'll read it on here. I'll give you the so the computer don't start messing up or anything like that, man. Because I don't want the spirit. All right. So this says this is Proverbs 12 and 10. It says, "And a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercy of the wicked are cruel." So the mercy of the wicked are cruel. That's this Black Lives Matter, man. That's the mercy of the wicked, which comes from these elites, these Amalekites, all right, the elites of the world, and it's cruel. Because look what it's doing to so-called the perception of Negroes in the eyes of the Edomites. They're looking at Jake as a damn problem, man. That's why you have Edomites that are standing in front of their houses in front of protests with guns in their hand, because all they do is sit there and watch the news. The narrative is showing that these blacks are burning, they're pillaging, they're looting. We need to grab guns. We need to defend ourselves. Then Trump's retweeting it, so that's even more confirmation. So go grab your guns. Go stand on your front yard and protect yourselves from these savage white or black people. It's all a game, man. And if your eyes are open, you can see it. The elites are laughing, man, because they're waiting for the powder keg to explode. Then they're gonna do the cleanup work, man. It says with eager to depend on. That's it on that. So let me play this quick video because I wanted to get to a lot of things and I don't want to make this video too long. Let's get to this saying, because this saying is gonna solidify in your minds what's going on right now, man. All right. And listen to this quote, listen to this quote right here, and then we're gonna get right into the scriptures.
And it was words to the effect of, for the 1% to win America, but this is a global thing really, but to win America, they had to rebrand themselves as the champion of the other 99%.
See that?
Now,
so for the 1% to win America and to win the world, the 1% is the 1%ers that control the so-called wealth of the world today.
This is exactly what has happened.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. I don't want to. Hey, I don't want.
So now you have this cult funding through its various corporations and billionaires, organizations that are dividing and ruling.
There it is, right here. All right, it says for the 1%, which is the ruling class, to win America and to win the world, they had to rebrand themselves as the champions of the other 99%. So that's what you're seeing right now. The elites that rebranded themselves by way of this Black Lives Matter as the champions, as the leaders of the 99%. So now they're not the problem; they've now become the leaders of it because they have the funds and the way to actually fund these things and do things, because they're the ones with the money already. So they're the ones that set up the leaders. It's nothing new. This is ordo ab chaos. All right. And they're just putting it out here. Then Jane Matt Myers said that. All right. But this is what you see right now. They champion by setting up these shield leaders. All right. These black women, because Harriet Tubman was set up. Harriet Tubman was an agent for the international bankers, man. The Underground Railroad was to funnel the so-called slaves up north, man, so they could go up north and start working up there and make the north money. So they set up Harriet Tubman. That's how Harriet Tubman had the logistics to do what she did. How she had the boats and the different white folks that would hide the slaves all the way up north, man. All right, it was all set up, and they're still doing it today. Okay, like it says, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. All right, I'm gonna read a couple scriptures from right here because it looks like the computer's messing up. So I'm just gonna read it from my phone and let you brothers just hear. Okay, this is the first scripture I have here is 2nd Ezra. Let me pull it up. This is 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 68. And it reads, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. So these Edomites and these nations, they're gonna start looking at Jacob as a big problem. That's why the justification of Jacob's trouble is not going to be that much horrible to the world, because you're going to be an issue. They're going to turn Jake into a new form of things that has to be dealt with. It says, over you, and they shall take certain of you, feed you, being idols with things offered unto idols, which is that chip. All right. So in the time we come into, man, there's going to be a great wrath, because Esau is going to come down, man. He's going to come down, because we've been looking at him like, oh, it's just a regular old Edomite. No, he's not a regular old, just a regular old white man. No, he's the Edomite. He's the devil the Bible speaks of. All right. And it reads, this is the book of Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, O ye heavens. It says, therefore rejoice, O ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And the devil is you Edomites. All right, you're the wicked. If you read Malachi, the 1st chapter, you will see that you are the wicked that was prophesied in the Bible to come and to rule in the last days, man. That's why it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, okay? So that's what you're seeing, man. So he's going to come down having that great wrath, and he's going to get dealt with. All right, and then this right here goes to the so-called BML, because you got Jakes that's out here following after that in the streets protesting, and you don't realize there's nigga women that don't deal with Jake. Them black women don't look like they even have a boyfriend or a husband, man. If they do, Salaki, I stand corrected. It's Isaiah 3 and 12, and it reads, As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. The Lord standeth up to plead, and standeth to judge the people, and he's judging it through his prophets, man. He's telling you and come back to your power, man. Nothing wrong with women. Our women are off these days, all right, and they're not supposed to be in that leadership position. They should have started so-called help and put it in men's hands. But they're working for Esau, man. They're getting paid by the devil, man. They're getting a paycheck. All right. So with that, I want to give all honor and praise into Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Makar Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makar Shalom Akim. Keep faith. We almost home. Shalom.